Ethan Page, he has been removed from the AEW Ring of Honor roster. Longtime guy in Impact. He was a former tag team champion with Josh Alexander for like a year. He went over to the North. Yeah, he went over to AEW and he never really made it. He had some start and stop pushes and kind of plateaued. I think a lot of people had higher hopes for him, but that place is just so stacked with stars that and guys that are just much better than him, and he just never really could crack like that upper echelon of talents. Man, what do you think about Ethan Page?
I think Edge had a great debut. I don't understand that. One of my favorite moments of the last year. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was hoping for Ethan Page because I like Ethan Page. I just think he has a hard time being a serious guy.
Yeah.
Right. I think as an audience, it's hard to, it's not like he's a clown all the time, but it's hard to see him as like something. And it's weird to say that because like I saw the Evolve feud with Darby Allin. Like I know I know what that guy is capable of. Yet I never felt it when he was in AEW, and I was on board. I said, man, this is a great signing. I think this guy could be something if we tap back into that guy. And it just didn't happen. You know, and like I said, if you're in that company, you have to stand out. And his work is good, right? His promos are good, but like it just didn't happen.
You got to be better than good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to be better than good if you're going to make it in WWE and if you're going to make it in AEW, and you have to have something that clicks with their respective audience, because I do believe that they have two different audiences really. They're serving two different people, and that's why when people tell me that AEW should tell more WWE like stories, like no, they should be different than WWE, and WWE should be different than AEW. They should be competing for their different audiences, their own brands, right? They should have their own identities. Ethan Page just couldn't crack it, and he's got what I think some people call it. I think he found this out recently. And Deonna Purrazzo's finding this out. He's got small room charisma, right? Some people just have larger than life, big room charisma. You put him on an Evolve show with Swerve and they're probably equals, but you put Swerve in a big arena, right? And you put Ethan Page in a big arena, Swerve just jumps off the page. The guy's a superstar. We can say whatever we want about his title reign so far. It's been a week. Let's give him some time. But like he just kind of jumps off the page. The guy's a superstar, right? Ethan Page, just some people got it to be big stars. And I just don't think that he had what it took to become a big star. He just wasn't larger than life. He didn't have that big room charisma. He doesn't really speak to the top of the audience, right? The top of the rafters. And so where could he end up next? I think it's pretty obvious that I think TNA would be a good destination. I think there's a ready-made feud there with Josh Alexander. I think that they would have a good feud. They would have good matches, and he would cut good promos. And they're going to Canada for Slammiversary. I think that would be good. The problem is he kind of burned some bridges on his way out. He did. And, look, his last night in TNA, or Impact Wrestling back then, but TNA, it was the worst thing I've ever seen, where they did Ethan Page versus Karate Man, like a pandemic, empty arena, skit. They were trying to do the Broken Hardy stuff, but he essentially wrestled himself, ripped his own heart out, and died, right? It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. But you know what? They got new management now, and he bashed them on the way out, went over to AEW thinking that he would never have to come back. Antonio,
it's been 10 days.
Yeah, it's been 10 days. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Antonio Baker says Swerve title run has been booked bad. I did not like the way he was just kind of trotted out without any fanfare on the first Collision, or on the first Dynamite. But I felt like they did give him a good spotlight on Collision, coming right off a hot basketball game with a big audience. I felt like they did maximize that. But would I have him, wrestling on, nothing matches? No, I wouldn't. But I don't.
He wrestled Claudio. Like I'm
talking about
match.
Kyle Fletcher is what I was saying, and I like Kyle Fletcher, right? But let's be honest, it was kind of a glorified
squash.
No, I don't want to say squash, but yeah, I mean that's what it was.
But what is the AEW? When this is we talk about the difference between the two audiences, what does the AEW audience want? Like, you could tell me, we got to get more casuals in, but we saw that with the MJF rate is you lost a lot of your hardcore fans because you weren't. Thank you, King of the North. It's a wrestling show.
It's a wrestling
show. You can't book AEW the way WWE is booked. We saw that in the Max reign, and it didn't work. It divided the fan base. Like, and they're still trying to recover off of that. Right?
Yeah, I'm not saying he shouldn't have wrestled. I'm saying
no, it just
made it to be a bigger deal. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. But it's a nitpick.
I can't argue that. But like, that's the thing. It's been 10 days, and they just put him into his first real program. I mean, you can question Christian Cage, but I mean, like, Christian Cage is going to make the guy look great, and they're going to have good promos, and you're going to build something. Should it be main eventing a pay-per-view? I don't know. Let's see. I'm not sold on that idea yet, but I know it's going to make for decent TV. Like, the AEW audience doesn't want people sitting around cutting promos for 4 hours. They don't. They want to watch wrestling. And if you don't give them wrestling, why are they watching AEW? Why would you do what WWE does when the WWE is doing it well? Right? We've talked about this 100 times on our show. Like, people drink Coke, people drink Pepsi. If I want a Pepsi, I'll drink a Coke if it's there, but I want a Pepsi. Right? If I want to go to McDonald's and Burger King, I'd rather, you're going to pick one or the other if the two are across the street, and you're probably going to pick that one consistently because that's what you like. And it's okay. And it's okay to serve a different audience. I don't think AEW is going out of business by the end of the year.
No.
A billionaire.
Yeah. No, that AEW is going to be around as long as Tony Khan either A, gets that deal signed with Warner Brothers, which I feel like he's going to, or B, he can just continue to fund it because the guy's just he's stupid rich. Right? So like he can just, like he said, fuck it, I'll go to YouTube if he wants, right? like he could. He could hire somebody to maximize his YouTube, sell subscriptions. He could do all that stuff. Will it be the same as what it is right now? Probably not, but he like AEW is not going anywhere. Will it still be on Warner Brothers Discovery? Well, I think they got a better shot now that now that it looks like NBA is going to go to Comcast and Amazon. They got to have programming, and they're about to get knocked out of that. Look, TNT and TBS are like number 1 and number 2 all the time, and it's because NBA, NHL, and then kind of like behind them, a couple tiers down is AEW. If they lose NBA, I don't think they're going to lose AEW, and I think they'll pay a premium price to keep it.
Yeah, they're going to need something to keep it on. Dave brought up a good point that it brings down the prestige of the network if they lose the NBA.
Yes.
I had heard earlier they were talking about splitting the NBA rights, like they would just get less on both. We'll see what Comcast wants to do. Comcast throws around a whole.
Yeah, they do. And I think the future of AEW is on, obviously they're going to stay on cable, but I think they're going to have to co-stream on a app here soon.
That's going to happen.
Yeah, they got to make the deal with Max as well as Warner Brothers. And I think that's like the long play because eventually cable's going to go away before our eyes. It's dwindling every single year.
Look at the ratings.
A big part of the reason why. A big part of the reasons why, like right now during the playoffs, the AEW is down this year versus last year is because they're in less homes in this year versus last year. But WWE is kind of confusing the marketplace because they're just fucking so hot and they're outperforming everything. It's wild how hot they are.
But look at their core numbers compared to 4 or 5 years ago, right? They're down in total numbers, but they're up from where they were because things have gotten kind of rough for them, especially during the pandemic. Like, let's be honest, man. Like, there's less homes in cable, and it drifts down every year. How are you supposed to grow numbers with when you have less homes? It's just math, man. Tackmaster says ratings are no longer going to be the ones that switches over to streaming service. Yeah, that's true. And WWE has already built that in with Netflix. They could do whatever they want, and with because we don't know. There is no aggregated service that reports true Netflix ratings. Like streaming numbers, they don't have to release those things. They just say, yeah, we had the Netflix especially does this. We had 8 billion people watch the most recent episode of Stranger Things, and then they print it and they go, yes, 8 billion people watch Stranger Things. More people than on Earth are watching Stranger Things. They're actually webcasting it to Alpha Centauri. Like it's insane, but they could do that.
The Anunnaki.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go.
The Anunnaki, yeah.
Like that's the thing, man. Like it's like you don't have to. Like the world of ratings is fading fast, right?
Yeah.
Like compare, just look numbers year over year, man. Just look at it and then factor in the loss of homes year over year. It's plummeting. We got rid of cable 10 years ago, right? And I know people follow us up. They can follow them up. It's just reality.
Yeah, I have my cousin's cable password for YouTube TV, so that's why I have it right now. So that's been sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean to admit to that. But
don't bite the hand that feeds. I've used a friend's cable password for years so I can watch Dynamite on the TBS app, which is the worst app in the world, by the way.
Dude, I gave up on it. I had my friends, dude. I had my friends' moms for a while, and I had the TBS and TNT app, and I was like,
So
you know
bad.
what? I'm just gonna find like an illegal feed because that's actually much easier to use, and it was. So I did that for a little while, but now I just have my cousin's YouTube TV, and I can just put it on my DVR and watch it that way,
That's probably an
or
easier
on
way
his
to do it.
on his DVR anyway.
Like, yeah, it's just it's the worst. I hate it so much.
Yeah, but hey, everybody in the chat, I want to give some shout outs here.
Lots.
And yeah, lots of shout outs. And thank you, like obviously Shadow and Techmaster and Alexander Storm brought the thunder today. They brought us some new viewers, so really appreciate it. Make sure you click that like button and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel, and also make sure you're a subscriber to Shadow Knows Network. Antonio Baker doesn't have cable anymore. Thanks Antonio for being in the chat tonight. Bang bang 49er gang. Also Scope Wrestling in the house. Hoorah Marine, welcome Uncle Scope, and then King of the North in here consistently every week harassing me. Says if WWE is Coke and AEW is Pepsi, what is TNA? Mr. Pibb.
I was gonna say RC Cola.
RC Cola. I think, I think so. And I think everybody needs to be okay with that, right? Like I think like everybody needs to just like figure out like come to grips with reality about what TNA exactly is and why I'm completely okay with Matt Hardy being in TNA because it's TNA. Look at their level that they're at. Their pay-per-view that they just had. They had 1,100 people in the building. Like Matt Hardy's the type of scar that they can get. So like just be like, hey, cool, Matt Hardy's still working. Like it seems like he's a nice guy, right? So he doesn't seem like he's one of those creeps. You know what I mean?
No.
So
Matt
Hardy let the brother get paid and have fun. You know what I mean?
So MLW would be like the great value, the stuff you buy at Walmart, right? That would be MLW.
Sam's Choice Cola.
Sam's Choice.
Yeah.
Game Changer would be what? Like urine?
Meth. Yeah. The Game Changer is like the meth that you know, like and NWA would be like, you know, Docolax like drink to make you poop.
Moxie. That's what that would be. It would be Moxie.
Yeah. All right. I want to do a couple more shout outs. I'm going through the comments here. I didn't get to everybody. Kevin S. I wonder if Tessa Blanchard will go back today. Look, that was a rumor. I think that was a rumor a couple weeks ago, but I think she's pretty happy in CMLL. All the AEW fans love CMLL, but when they heard that Tessa might be going back to TNA, they were bashing TNA. I was like, hey, have you watched CMLL? You've been preaching CMLL for a little bit because that's AEW's partner. She's got a bigger shot at going to AEW than she does TNA at this point.
You and I both know those AEW fans have no idea what's going on in CMLL.
Yeah. And IO Productions in the house tonight. Thank you. You talking about Ethan Page was just praising Ring of Honor not too long ago. Well, yeah, they're paying him money, of course.
Trying to keep his job.
Trying to keep his job, and I think he is out the door now. So, but hey guys, tonight was one of my favorite episodes. It was so fun to have the Shadow Man on. Just after JD and I just celebrated 1 year with the new format. It was almost like we're episode 54, so just over a year ago we switched over from Brace for Impact to the Mike and JD show, and this thing just keeps building and building and building. We're on the Voices of Wrestling network now, and we got this awesome audience. Thanks for everybody's support. Make sure you go to patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. I'll be out with 2 Brace for Impacts this weekend. Even though I did quit the show, I'm already back because tomorrow night they have Under Siege. They had Under Siege tomorrow. Look, the card does not look great, but Jonathan Gresham and Kushida just got announced, so I'll like that one. And Jake Something versus Hammerstone is gonna be fun.
That'll be fun.
Like I'm just trying to like look on the bright side, but the rest of the matches don't look great. But so I got that to look forward to. So I'll be recapping tonight's episode, which the main event was Jordan Grace versus Miyu Yamashita. So that was I'm getting good. Hearing that was pretty good. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, so I'll watch that later tonight, and I'll watch Under Siege over the weekend, and I'll come out with 2 different Brace for Impact. So that'll be in your Patreon feed. And then JD and I hopefully this weekend maybe try to catch up, do some overtime. It's been a while.
Ooh, yeah.
I can coordinate with the wife, and maybe we'll try to schedule an overtime. Have a topic, maybe do a watch along or something. Yeah, we'll come up with something. Okay. We'll give you guys some more content. It's been a little bit, but that is gonna do it for us this week. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, mahalo.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A-game. A-made, no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This isn't A-game, better bring your A-game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your